Welcome to my beginner's guide for the Cactus Clicker mode on the brand new server playlegend.net. In this beginner's guide, you will learn everything you need to know about the mode and how to go from the first cactus to building a gigantic cactus empire. For those unfamiliar with the mode, it's essentially a tower defense idle game with extensive talent trees and significant grind potential. The first step is, of course, to connect to the server. Simply enter the following server IP, playlegend.net. It's important to use version 1.20.1. Once you're on the server, you can change your language below using the flag icon, and then select the game mode with the compass. Here, we naturally select the Cactus Clicker mode. Upon arriving at your so-called factory, you'll initially see this. There isn't much here yet, but that will change later through various upgrades and improvements. Let's get started and harvest our first cacti. As you can see, our current cacti on the right are visibly increasing in green. Additionally, our factory level has just increased, but more on that later. To speed things up, it's recommended to buy multiple cactus fields. You can do this by right-clicking on an empty field and clicking the buy button. You'll also see the price for the next available field. Alternatively, you can simply do Shift plus right-click to instantly purchase the field. The more cactus fields you have, the faster you'll harvest your cacti. Our first main goal is to unlock the research room. To do this, we need to harvest 1,000 cacti. Once you have the 1,000 cacti, go to the Cactus Max shop. Here, you can now buy the key for the research room for 1,000 cacti. Now, go to the big door with the blue pillars and right-click on the door with your key to unlock it. With another right-click, you can then open it. In the research room, go to the Research Max, where you can improve your cactus using the cactus button. This is divided into 3 categories. Firstly, you can improve your cactus yield, secondly, the spawn time, and thirdly, the tier level of your cactus. Important note, when you improve the yield, the spawn time automatically increases slightly. Therefore, it is recommended to skill in spawn time immediately to return to a 1-second spawn time. Faster than a 1-second spawn time is not possible. When research is active, it will be displayed at the top with a timer. I have now leveled up yield and spawn time to level 5, and as you can see, we can now access cacti much more quickly. The next important step is to unlock the forge. To do this, go back to the Research Max and explore the forge via the anvil button. Once you've done that, return to the key dealer Cactus Max and get the key for 1,000 cacti. In the research room, there is another door on the left side that you can now open with the key. This is where the Smith Max is located. Here, you can view your discovered blueprints and later craft them. As you can see, most of it is still empty, but over time, you'll acquire more blueprints for armor, weapons, and tools. At the beginning, our focus is on a weapon. In the weapon blueprints, you can purchase a wooden sword for 3,000 cacti, which we need right away to survive our first tower defense waves. Simply left-click on the sword to craft it. To equip the sword, open the menu with the compass and click on the equipment button in the bottom left. Now you are in the equipment menu, where you have various empty slots available. From regular armor to rings, belts, and gloves, you can equip your character here. For now, we are only interested in the weapon slot. Here, you can equip the wooden sword you just crafted. The smith has more useful functions. In the bottom left of the forge menu, there is an anvil button. Here, you can choose a resource that the smith will passively produce. Initially, only spinning thread is available, but over time, you'll unlock other resources needed for crafting weapons and armor. As you can see, it takes 100 seconds for 1 unit of spinning thread to be produced and placed in your storage. You can empty the storage with a simple click and then view your produced materials in the material bag via the compass menu. You can upgrade this process by clicking on the totem and buying upgrade points for cacti or souls. Souls will be explained shortly. You can invest these purchased points in 3 different categories: speed, storage capacity, and more experience points. The same applies to the furnace, where you can convert mined ores into bars. Since we currently have no ores, the furnace is not important at the beginning. Here, you can invest in different categories to improve your furnace. Now, let's discuss how to get souls, the second currency in the game. Souls are obtained only by killing enemies that spawn in waves. To start the first wave, you must reach factory level 5. Therefore, I will quickly farm until factory level 5, and then we will continue. Once you reach factory level 5, you can unlock the waves in the menu. In this menu, you can manage and start your waves. To start the first wave, simply click on the left red block here. It will turn green, indicating that the waves are active. Once you start the first wave, the first monster will spawn. Initially, it's quite easy as it's just a horse that doesn't deal any damage. On the right side, you can see how much time you have left to kill the monsters in the wave. If this timer runs out, you fail the wave. If you are killed or if any of the monsters reach your cactus field, the wave also fails. I recommend playing until wave 9, as until then, only horses spawn that can be easily defeated with the wooden sword. Once you reach wave 9, you can deactivate the wave via the menu. Simply click on the green block again until it turns red. If you click on the right red block, you activate the wave repeat mode. This means that you repeat the current wave and no further waves will come. This is very useful if you want to obtain essences from specific monsters that only appear in a particular wave. Now, you may wonder how to get the souls that you have earned by killing monsters. As you can see on the right, we still have 0 souls. That's correct because you only get souls when you perform a reset. To perform a reset, go to the menu and click on the black block in the bottom left. Here, you can see how many souls you will get through the reset. However, it's crucial to note that once you reset, you lose everything you have done and researched in the factory. This means your cactus field will shrink back to 1 cactus, the upgrades you made for the cactus will disappear, and if you built towers, they will also vanish. However, gaining souls is the trick here. With each soul, you get 10% more cacti, allowing you to progress much faster in the long run. Let me show you how it works. We click on the black block and confirm it in the chat. As mentioned, everything has now been reset, and we only have 1 cactus again. However, when I harvest it, you can see that I get much more cacti than before. This is simply due to the souls we obtained through the reset, each of which gives us 10% more cacti. The souls you have available are now displayed in purple on the right. Now, we need to buy the key for the research room again for 1000 cacti, as everything has been reset. Since we now have our first souls, another door has opened on the right side. Behind this door is the Soul Max, where you can spend your souls on various talents. It's important to know that these talents are permanent and do not disappear with a reset. The main goal is to unlock more talents that bring you long-term bonuses and advantages. At the Soul Max, you have 3 different talent trees to choose from: the Cactus Talent Tree, the Soul Talent Tree, and the Research Talent Tree. Each point you invest in the Cactus Talent Tree increases your cactus yield, each point in the Soul Talent Tree increases your souls, and each point in the Research Talent Tree reduces your research time. By shift left clicking, the corresponding talent tree is displayed, and here you can spend the talent points you just invested. For starters, it's recommended to put some points into the Soul Talent Tree, as it significantly increases your souls, which, in turn, brings you much more cacti. If you buy this talent for only 7 souls, they will be gone, reducing your cactus yield by 70% when harvesting. Therefore, I recommend farming enough cacti first and then spending your souls. I have now farmed over 136,000 cacti and can finally purchase the Cactus Tier upgrade at the Research Max. Tier upgrades take a bit longer but yield much more. After the research is complete, we can farm some more cacti. As you can see, we now get much more cacti than before. Now that we have accumulated some cacti, we can build our first towers. Go to the first lane, which you can recognize by the red pillars, and right-click on one of the platforms. Now you can buy your first tower here. With another click, the tower menu opens, where you can individually improve and configure the tower. Here, you can enhance the strength, improve the range, change the arrow type, and set the target the tower should attack. I recommend improving the damage and, if necessary, buying another tower. A small note: since players on the server can boost the game mode, giving you either a percentage more cacti or souls, you may get more or fewer cacti and souls at this point than I currently have. So don't be surprised if you have more or even fewer cacti and souls than I do. Before starting the waves again, don't forget to spend your souls on talents at the Soul Max. As mentioned before, it's recommended to put some points into the Soul Talent Tree at the beginning. Once we've done that, we can start the waves again. As you can see, it's much faster now that we have the assistance of the towers. Accordingly, we can handle higher waves, which naturally give us more souls. If at some point you realize that you can no longer handle the waves because your towers are still too weak, you can simply deactivate the waves. Just check the menu in the bottom left to see how many souls you would get for a reset and consider whether a reset is worthwhile or if you want to farm more waves. I recommend always checking the Research Max to see how many souls you need for the next talent points. For each reset, try to achieve 2 to 3 talent points to make it really worthwhile. Before performing another reset, let's take a look at the so-called Aincraft World. You can enter the Aincraft World by going to the Cactus Max and clicking on the grass block in the middle. Upon arriving on the first level of Aincraft, we find ourselves on a meadow with many rabbits. By killing these rabbits, you get various drops. Additionally, there's a chance for blueprints to drop, which you can later craft at the smith. However, you need materials from Aincraft, as well as souls, cacti, and coins for crafting. You also get coins by killing mobs in Aincraft. Another thing that can drop is statues. These are stackable and give you a passive buff. You can easily check which statues you have through the menu under statues. The last thing you can get here are the so-called cards. Like statues, they provide passive buffs but need to be equipped in the menu. To equip them, you need to unlock a slot in the card menu first. As you can see, The first slot costs 100 oak wood. I'll show you how to get that in a moment. Back in Aincraft, the goal is to kill a total of 2,000 rabbits to reach the next level. You can always see your progress and how many rabbits you still need at the Nether portal. On the next levels, you'll encounter different mobs, resources, and more. Back at the blacksmith, we can now take a look at the blueprints we've found and see exactly what we need to craft the corresponding items. The various armors and weapons also come with different perks, ranging from increased damage to an enhanced drop chance for rare blueprints, offering you various advantages. That's why it's worthwhile to defeat mobs in Aincraft to obtain better equipment. As mentioned earlier, we need 100 oak wood for the first map slot. To achieve this, we get a wood axe from the blacksmith and return to Aincraft. Here, you can leisurely farm some wood with your axe. Once you have the 100 wood, you can finally purchase the first slot and equip the map that gives you a passive effect. You may have noticed an arrow button in the top left corner of the menu, which leads you to the ammunition upgrade menu. Here, you can upgrade each arrow type individually and improve them further through a talent tree. My personal favorite talent is the Necromancer talent for the Dark Arrow. With this talent, there's a chance that a zombie spawns on hit, attacking enemy monsters in the waves. However, upgrades require essences obtained from enemies spawning in the waves. For the first upgrade, we need horse essence. It's recommended to replay a wave with many horses to collect as many horse essences as possible. In the ammunition menu, on the far left, there are the bridge talents. You might be wondering what bridges are. By right-clicking on one of the 4 bridges, you can buy and then upgrade the bridge, choosing between damage and slowing effects. Note that from wave 30 onward, the first mobs appear on the second lane, and the order continues clockwise. The first lane always has red pillars, and from there, it goes clockwise, meaning the second lane with enemies has green pillars. What can be easily overlooked is that on the outer ring, there are 4 hidden towers that can be built. These are buff towers that make the various arrows even stronger. However, you can boost each arrow type only once. To farm cacti while offline, you can unlock the farm by going to the researcher's desk and exploring the cactus farm. After doing that, you can buy the corresponding key from the cactus vendor. The farm is located near the door with the green pillars. Here, you can improve your passive cactus yield and buy additional cactus levels through various upgrades. So, let's summarize a typical process from reset to reset. Step 1, unlock the research room. Step 2, upgrade your cactus tier until it becomes too expensive. Step 3, in the meantime, farm mobs in Aincraft for better equipment. Step 4, unlock the forge to craft new equipment and collect materials. Step 5, farm cacti and set up all your towers and bridges. Step 6, spend your souls in the talent tree. Step 7, let waves run until you can buy 2 to 3 talent points after the reset. Step 8, reset. Finally, I'd like to show you some skins that you can purchase. There are entire factory skins that change the entire design of the factory. You can view them in the lobby at the Crystal Merchant. Additionally, there are separate skins for your towers. You can display them directly for 10 seconds in the in-game tower menu to see what you like. The selection is definitely enormous. If you decide to buy a skin, I would appreciate it if you use the creator code Lomby to support me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you're new to the channel, I would greatly appreciate a subscription and a like.